this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I'm just very happy to be doing this video, very happy to have someone watching it and listening. And I'm actually excited for this video because I tend to get excited when videos are about like love and relationships. And this one is this someone you really want to be with? Is this actually someone you really want to be with? And we've got 4 cards: Awaken, Reach, Light, and Blur. And then I'm going to do, at the end of each reading sometime, I'm going to try for the first time to do some moon oracles and kind of gauge maybe a time limit, depending on how the reading goes, like if we actually think you want to be with this person or not. And I am always trying to figure out the right setting for things, always. Okay. Let's get into it. So I will say, hello, Awaken. And if you picked Awaken, it's a pretty little picture. All these are winter, kind of like winter bliss. Definitely elements of winter. There's some darkness, some goodness, some light, some, I don't know, like mystery. It looks cold. It looks like you want to snuggle up. I don't know. I dig it. I don't love the winter, but I can love the winter. Okay, I'm just really excited for this reading in particular. All right, Awaken. Let's see. How are you doing right now? Where are you right now? I want to see just a little bit about you right now. And I like doing 3 cards to start. Okay, 6 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. So we've got some cups. It always takes me a minute. 6 of Cups, I've always said this is my simple pleasures card. It's a goodness card. There's just a simplicity to it, like a pared down version of like what can make you happy, what can really almost like inspire you and it might be something that didn't actually get to you, let's say last year at this time, but for whatever reason now you are enjoying. And I always say like that cup of coffee in the morning, or that, I don't know, that book in a warm blanket, just something that kind of like takes you for a little bit of a ride when you didn't really think it was there. 8 of Pentacles, to me, I think of patience. I think of like just watching the fruits of your labor, waiting for something to pay off, but in a patient kind of, in a way where you're confident, you know that this is going to turn into something. Sorry, it's every word I just said, I was just going to re-say in a different order. But yeah, this tracks for me because there's an element of, dare I say again, patience, and just, there isn't haste. You're not at a point where you're always wondering what you could do that's more fun or better or more interesting. This is like the opposite of FOMO. And the Knight of Cups, to me, there's nothing wrong with this either. I mean, if this is where you're at right now, like you're pretty still right now. And when I think of cups, I think of like this desire to kind of discover a new side of yourself, to discover a passion, to really try to like connect with like a more just emotional side of yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's so, yeah, this is good. And if this is Awaken, then already there's like a positive, this just has a very positive and like self-love and nurturing vibe to it. Of course, the theme is this someone you really want to be with? So let's get what what does this have to do with anyone else? Six of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, 3 of Swords. What this has to do with someone else? So 6 of Swords is essentially, there's like someone's leaving, and it can be an escape. It can be like there's this sense of baggage that you need to unload, but there's this, and if we take it mentally, it is kind of like a mental baggage. There's like a mental burden that's been sort of just released yourself from, almost like a shifting of the mind. So not so much physical, although it could absolutely be, But then with this, we have heartbreak. And then if I take Queen of Pentacles, well, I see her as a very, very earthly, connected, grounded person. What question did I ask? What question did I ask to get here? My mind goes blank after I read. This is probably my biggest challenge. It's not reading the cards. It's remembering what question I asked to get to the point I'm at right now. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I don't remember the question I asked, and I held on to it for like 10 seconds and it completely left my head. But just looking at this snapshot, and for whatever reason, I feel like this last line it wasn't necessarily about you. I could have said, is this someone you really want to be with? I'm just going to say, is this someone, what do you think? Do you think this is someone you want to be with? I apologize for this. I just refuse to start over because these are your cards. The deck is the deck that's meant for you. Like, I can't start over. But no, I think there was heartbreak. I think there's an element of leaving. And if I see you as the Queen of Pentacles, which I like, although I feel like I kind of saw you as the Knight of Cups, which is fine. The Queen of Pentacles could actually be the person you're inquiring about, and it doesn't have to be a woman. It's a feminine energy, but it's a very it can apply to anyone. There's no there's no title that it has to be given to. I think whoever the Queen of Pentacles was in your life, this energy, this entity that is actually, I don't want to say moody, but almost overly sensitive, someone who has such a connection to creating a home, creating a place, helping others kind of like find their place. There's this very earthly nature connection to this person. And I feel like if that person if they don't feel like they're in the right place or doing the right thing or serving a purpose, and a lot of that to me does have to do with nature, then I think this person can get very, they can just feel out of place. They can feel antsy. They can feel anxious. And I think that can come through as being just not kind or not pleasant to deal with. And I actually see the person that we're questioning about, if you're really meant to be with them, as the Queen of Pentacles. And with that energy, it's someone who can be very kind, very nurturing, very loving, but they can also be a bit suffocating, and they can be possibly codependent, and they can want to, like, you can feel suffocated. I think they want to hold on to you. They want to keep you in one place. They want you almost as their little project to nurture and watch grow, and kind of almost take pride in your growth and your possibly even your success. And I think that makes you personally want to run. I think that is, and I say the word suffocating, but I do believe that is a very suffocating feeling for you. But I also have a feeling that this person that has that Queen of Pentacles energy for you, who I think is the person you're inquiring about, I think they've experienced some heartbreak, and they are taking a past heartbreak and kind of pushing it on you. So maybe this hold that they have on you, this sense that makes you want to, like, climb the walls. When someone, it's like like Lenny who killed the little bunny, you love something so much, you cling to it, you clutch it, you push the life out of it, you kill it, not even meaning to. And that is, I believe, the suffocating energy that this person is putting on you. And I do think that this is probably stemming from their own insecurities, their own fear of having history repeat itself, which isn't your fault. It's not your cross to bear. However, it does feel like it's become that way. So yeah, meanwhile, you up here, so maybe you're not with this person anymore. Maybe you've already taken a step back, and in taking that step back, tapering back, breaking up, moving out, whatever it is, I think that you are finding these simple pleasures. You're finding kind of the patience to really just assess your life, your time, your energy. Like, is this where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Is this the right relationship for you? And I mean, so far, if I just looked at it in this snapshot, I would say it's not. Granted, I'm looking at 6 cards, so it's not my place to say whether or not this is the relationship for you at all. But just purely looking at these cards, no, it feels like you are, like the life is just being sucked out of you. And although this person might be quite good, because I do think there's a very loving and nurturing energy that comes from the Queen of Pentacles. I think it's a bit much for you. And I just have to remember my question. What does this relationship feel like to you? What do you feel from this relationship? And I think from this relationship, so we'll start with the good card. It's the 3 of Cups. You can see that, or actually maybe with this glare you can't. But the 3 of Cups is, you can call it friendship, you can call it reunion, you can call it love, but it's a very positive card. Like, this is a card that you want to see in a relationship reading per se. Like, there's really almost, the only negative thing you could ever give this card is, like, some people can say there's a third person, but there's such a happy vibe to this card that I can't really imagine that third person causing too much of like a love triangle. I don't think that's your jam right now anyway. I think the Queen of Pentacles in your life, even if it is a male energy, wants you so much to themselves that I don't know that there's even time or energy for them to engage with a third person. But we'll look into that a little bit more, because this could also represent a third person, which is quite interesting. But again, don't want to go down that road. But I think right now for you, this is like, this relationship is work. 10 of Wands, we see it's more than just it's a bit of a burden, but it is like, it's a lot of work, and you don't necessarily even seen it pay off. And you'd like to see all this energy you've put into this pay off. And I actually think with this, there's definitely that crash and burn element where you can almost see the writing on the wall, and it's not good. So and the only thing I can get out of this positive card to give to this relationship is there probably was a time that you really did have very hopeful feelings towards this person. However, this could also be a card to say, maybe you only ever in your innermost only really saw them as a friend. Maybe you never had that like deep, intense kind of romantic feeling toward them. It could have always been like more of a friendship vibe. I don't know that that your person ever even caught on to that. I think they were just so busy trying to mold you or make you or hold on to you or keep you, that I just don't even know that they ever even noticed that maybe you weren't showing them the love or the affection or the attention that you should have. But all that does sound like a lot of work. It is a burden. It's not fun. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say that I get out of the 3 of Cups, that you probably never felt like deep feelings of love, a romantic love, let's say. You could have cared about this person tremendously and loved them, but I just get a sense of relief right now in you being able to not be with them. And I get the feeling that you have, if you haven't had if things haven't crashed and burned yet necessarily, they're absolutely going to. But I think that you, in a way, have already checked out. Like, you've already found your happy place. I don't know that this person has, but I think that for you, yeah. And let's get a little bit about Awaken. Why did you pick Awaken? Awaken. Why did you pick Awaken? Nine of Wands. I'm just thinking, because we have the 10 of Wands, so I'm always interested when I see things in order. The Hierophant, Two of Cups. I mean, Two of Cups, that's also a very like loved up, intimate. So I think you really, I do think you want to find love. I mean, most people do. So that's not like, this amazing takeaway that you didn't already know, but most people do. But I do think that you do indeed want to find love. And there might be a little corner of your brain that is wondering, like, is this the person? Because if you, let's say, gave yourself to them, you'd have a receptive partner. They're here to receive love and give as much as they possibly can. The question is, do you actually want to receive their love? And can you even give it in return? My gut is no. That's just my gut. I think you could possibly build up like a resilience, and you could probably, I don't know, like hash it out or deal with it. But I have a feeling that it wouldn't last for long. And that voice inside of you, that part of you that is good, that knows that you deserve more and want more. And I'm going to call that part the Hierophant, but there's more to the Hierophant, and this will come to us. But I think for whatever reason, this would sit with you very wrong. It feels like it's harder on you for some reason. And I don't know what that reason is. That reason is that either you would be hurting this person, and the Hierophant does have a religious bend to it, but I don't really think that's the case. The only thing I can get out of the Hierophant is that if you were to stay with this person, you would be damaging either them or yourself in a way that is like almost spiritual. There's something like, and this makes me think like maybe your families, I don't know, maybe you'd have to like convert to Judaism or something like that. And the families would think like, oh, they're together, they're really doing it. Then they're on track to have a kid next year. And I just think that there would be this path you'd be going down that would be so structured, and that you would almost find yourself stuck, and it would be very hard to undo. I think with every passing week and month, it wouldn't be impossible, and people have done it, and you do whatever you need to do. But I think that if you found yourself going down this path, it could be really hard. So, yeah, something tells me that you are contemplating, can you kind of build up resilience, fall in love, let this be your person, but then you get this like inkling that it would tear you apart, and it would awaken something in you that would make you angry, resentful of yourself, probably just like it would bring out an ugly side of you, I think, quite frankly. And that's not the Hierophant card doesn't have anything to do with like having a dark side, I don't think at all. But to me, it's like it's like your own religion. This is your own. You'd be losing your own religion. Super corny, but you have your own internal moral compass, your own rules that you adhere to, and doing this it kind of derail that. And so what kind of person you'd be, I don't know, what your life would look like in a year, 2 years. I'm not sure, especially if you did go down a path where, other people were involved, or families, and certain things that just, once you do that, it's never impossible, but it's a different thing to undo it. Okay, so let's because I do want to do this time frame piece, but I want to get a little bit more like, what are you awakening from? Let's put it that way. And I feel like this is close to it, but I want to know what you're awakening from. Okay. So these are all swords, which tells me that you're finally waking up to your real intentions, your real thoughts, your real meaning, the core of like what is driving you, what's inspiring you, what's really making you, what's making you happy. I mean, you can feel emotions, but they're going to come from your thoughts. Your thoughts are like one of the first things that shape all the aspects of your life. And with swords, this is it. So what are you awakening from? I think you finally realize that there's this element of like, you almost are defeated in your own mind. You've realized like you've kind of hit a wall. You've hit your breaking point mentally, and you really know you can't do this anymore. And I think you are awakening from that. And I also think once you realize that, if you were to stay in this situation, you would probably find yourself just alone, just isolated. I think you would have to, kind of like to the point of what I said here with the Hierophant, you would have to live under like a different code than you've ever wanted to live under, you would be someone you almost don't even recognize. And you would have to maintain that to be in this relationship. And this is, I hear myself and I'm like, this isn't even your place to tell anyone who's listening to this much detail about why they shouldn't be in the relationship. Well, let me just finish real quickly. And Ace of Swords, I think you are again awakening to the fact that you are getting these ideas. You can't fight these ideas. There's an element of clarity that you've been literally like hit over the head with, and you just can't ignore it. Okay. I'm not going to say another word about why you need to not be in this relationship. I'm going to say this. There's nothing I get about this relationship that's toxic. This Queen of Pentacles energy is definitely suffocating. I don't get anything about toxicity. I don't get any dark vibes off of this. It doesn't mean you couldn't have a simple conversation with this person and turn all of this around. So this is not like, I'm not telling you to crash and burn your life. I'm just saying if you don't kind of right the momentum, correct your course, then this is what I see. But you can do anything. You can change this. And there's nothing to make me think that this person isn't unreasonable or wouldn't listen to you or wouldn't do anything to work through a change with you. So let me make that very clear. But yes, this is right now, I think you've hit an awakening. And if I take the cards exactly at face value, I know this feeling when you literally wake up and you're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm living a lie. It's not real. Like, this isn't me. This is false. I can't do this. I know that feeling. And once you get there, there's almost no going back. And I hate to call it, it's like a little bit of just, I don't know, there's an ick factor, but then there's also like a deeper, like, I just know, then there's just the conscience, like, you're killing this person. So dramatic, by staying with them every day. They're expecting something and wanting something more from you. And I think the more they feel you pull away, they just try harder. They try so much harder to grasp at you, and it's not going to stop. It doesn't stop. The Queen of Pentacles is not going to stop. Okay, I am going to do a time card, and I'm going to do a time card, and then I'm going to do 2 oracle cards. This is going to be my new thing. And I've shuffled these, and so I'm going to put down, but let me ask the question of time. I almost want to say, how long have you known this for? But then I'd have to look back on a calendar, and I don't feel like doing that because I actually don't have a calendar to look back on. And there are a few cards in here that aren't time, and if you get one of those, then you weren't meant to get a time card, and we'll deal with that. When should you communicate this to your partner by? Again, take this with a grain of salt, but I'm just asking that question, and let's see what comes up. So we're going to get the waning crescent. And I do need to look at a chart for this. So the waning crescent is when it leaves. So I'm going to say, if we're looking at January, it looks like your waning crescent, it looks like it's the end of January. And it almost looks like it's a kind of 25th through the 30th of January. And then if we take it to February, it's kind of like the 23rd through the 28th of February. But it's basically like, we'll just say the last week of January. So if this tracks with you, and if you know you have to do this, then yeah, if we're going off time cards, it looks like it's the end of oh my gosh, sorry, I'm just hoping I did this right. I did it right. End of January. And your quote here is, I flow towards my goal. I am strongly protected as I go. So yeah, this is you would have a goal in this case, that you would communicate what's on your mind and see if you can either correct it, or if you can just, quite frankly, have the guts to move on and move forward and, correct your situation. But can't stress enough, this is just a reading for how things are right now in this second. You can have the conversations. You can have there's so much that communicating can do. There's so much. And kind words, good talks, some wine. I mean, who knows? If this feels right, there might be a corrective course for it. If not, then what I said tracks. Let's get from the Oracle, which I'm really enjoying. Let's get a good luck charm and a word of warning. So I'm going to put down a good luck charm, light in the unexpected, and a word of warning, cozy up with risk. I actually haven't seen these cards before. I'm new to this deck, and so it's fun to see new cards. Light in the unexpected. This could mean two things. It could mean that it could mean that I don't know that you ever necessarily thought this was your person. That's the thing. I don't get that vibe. I think there might have been a minute where you were like, maybe this can work. They check the boxes. I want to make this work. I don't know that you ever really thought they were your person. So this tells me maybe unexpectedly you could find a spark in this person. There could be something there. And that tracks back to me saying, like, you can talk, you can work through things. You can take a break for 1 month, 6 months, 2 weeks. Like there's a lot of things. So maybe you could find happiness or a light in something you didn't expect. And, this can go for so many different things, but, this is me saying, take everything I said with a grain of salt. But yes, it can also mean that if you really did think this was your person more so than I let on, then, maybe walking away from this is good. And also, who knows, this could also mean if you end things, maybe this person won't be as devastated as you think. Maybe they'll be relieved and they'll say, thank you. I knew you weren't into it. I feel better about this. It hurts, but let's part as friends. So I feel like those are 3 doors that could open to you given this. And I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I think all of those scenarios are interesting and good. And then a word of warning is cozy up with risk. And this tells me that, I don't know. It's hard to break up. It's hard to hurt people. It's hard to do things that it is a risk maybe to walk away from a relationship. We haven't gotten into what you're already invested in, what you've done. As in, like, maybe you've, started planning your wedding. Maybe you've talked about having kids. Maybe you've been together and you bought a house together. I don't know. So I don't know what the risk is, but quite possibly you just need to accept that doing anything moving forward in any way is going to hurt or serve one person more than another. And that's a risk. So I guess you just have to accept it. That's your reading. I appreciate you being here this long. How long were we at this for? I can't even see, but it feels like it was, by long, for me, it flies by. I don't even notice it, but I hope it didn't drag on for you too much. Yes, this is the waning crescent, okay? That's your time frame. Not to harp on that. Let me know if any of this works for you, tracks for you, if you find solace in any of this information. I would love to hear about it. And thank you so much for being here. And I hope you come back. Have a great night. Bye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you very much for being here and for listening and letting me read for you. We have the topic, is this someone you really want to be with? Do you actually want to be with this partner, this person? And you have picked Reach. So yes, I'm very excited to read for you for this because I don't know, it's something about relationships when they're, I hate to say when they're hard, but it's just inspiring. There's so much good that can come of like the little points of tension in your relationship. And I mean, this is when things change and grow and evolve. Like if it's a little struggle, it's a little painful, you fight, you have the worst weekend of your life or week of your life, who knows? But like, this is where the good comes from. So yeah, when things are at a point that might seem less than ideal, a lot of good comes out of that. So these are always exciting readings for me. Okay, so we're doing Reach. It's not a bad picture. It doesn't necessarily make me think anything bad is going on. So yeah, we'll just see why you picked Reach. And the question really is this the right person for you? Is this really someone you want to be with? So let's see where you're at right now. Okay. It's funny to come out the gates with 3 majors. I mean, where are you right now? You're literally all over the place. I mean, you're kind of like on one. I think you're a little bit chaotic. I think you're a little bit indulgent. I think you are somewhat manic right now. Yeah, there's an element of you to me that is very careless, that you've got this momentum, this drive, this part of you that is like, it just completely going and going and going. And I don't even know if you know why you're so lit right now, but you really are. And I think maybe you are very happy. Maybe I just don't know what's got you so like gassed up right now. But there is something about you with this too. I am getting a very self-centered energy. There's something quite selfish, quite self-motivating, self-serving. Whatever it is, you're doing what you need to do for you. And maybe this is a long time coming. Maybe you've been needing to do exactly what you're doing right now for a very long time. So good for you for doing it. Or maybe you're always like this and this is just what you do. But I don't know that that's the case, because I feel like this, where you are right now with this kind of all about me, it's your show. No one's going to tell you to slow down. No one's going to tell you to stop. And if they do, you're not going to listen. I mean, that's the fool in you. But the Chariot is just that drive. And quite frankly, I don't even know if you know where you're going, because the Chariot doesn't really, it like studies a course, but yet it's like getting pulled almost in 2 different directions. And yet it just, I don't, the Chariot's a bit of a mystery to me, but there's this sense of it's momentum. It's this like assertion. You're going because you know you need to be going. You're moving because it's the only thing that feels right. But where to, for what reason, where you'll wind up, those are all question marks. But the High Priestess, if there's an element of this that makes me think this is a long time coming, and this is less than, it is self-serving wherever you are right now, which is fine. But this makes me think like this decision to be this person, I don't know that it's hasty. I think that for quite a while now you have thought, I've got to do this. Whatever this is, whatever you're running from or running towards, I don't know, but this is, you know that you're doing the right thing right now. You're not questioning if you're doing the right thing. You are doing the right thing. And I think you want to learn more about yourself. You want to find new levels of, when I say spirituality, that doesn't mean you like get a book on meditation or you join a call or you decide you pick a religion. To me, spirituality is just like when it's like get in touch with your spirituality, it's like just get in touch with yourself, like sit with yourself, get quiet and comfortable with yourself, whatever, and just get in your feels. Like if something makes you happy, if something makes you sad, really think about why it makes you happy, why it makes you sad, and should it, and do you want it to, and do you want it to make you feel that way tomorrow? Do you want to like curtail why it makes you feel that way? Like it's a little bit of everything. But I cannot remember why I started talking about that. not even for a second. But yes, I guess my point is that right now, oh, you're on a ever so slight spiritual journey to kind of really tap into your intuition and your just like inner knowledge, your inner being, your third eye, shall we say. Yeah. And I think on this trip, you're also trying to find your voice. You're trying to figure out a little bit about who you are. And by trip, it could be a trip, or it could be just a closing of one door, another door opening. And with that new opportunity and this opening door, you get this whole journey. So it's, doesn't mean you're like going to Europe for 6 months or something like that. Or I don't know, you could be living in a van for half the year. I don't know. But a lot of scenarios can play out here, and ultimately you'd wind up at the same place. So rest assured there. Okay. What are you reaching for? What are you reaching for? What are you reaching for? I never know which way's up and which way's down. Okay. I do think you're reaching to find yourself. I do think you're trying to find, up here I said you're trying to find your voice, and I get that. And I stand by that. And this really solidifies that more for me. Like, you are reaching, you want to find you. I don't know why you don't know exactly who you are. And I don't know why kind of like running and escaping will help you get there, but somehow it will. And I don't know if this King and Queen of Pentacles is like a mother and father figure. I'm not sure exactly what these cards are, but what I can gauge from this is that I don't think you even know. There's a confusion here where like you just don't know. I don't think you know anything about yourself. Like, do you want to be known for being very smart? Do you want to be known for being artsy? Do you want to be known for being a great thinker, a great communicator? Like, who are you? And are you excelling in any one thing, or are you kind of dabbling? Like, what are you doing? And the Three of Pentacles, there's an element of like teamwork here and working together. There's also a part of me that it's like you're almost showing something off, like that you could have a skill, maybe you could have an art, you could have something to bring to the table. I just don't know if you even know how you would present it, or if you want to, or if it's even the direction you want to go, or if you have the confidence or even the faculty to like really lean into that completely. I do think wherever you go up here, whatever this is about, you will figure this out. And maybe you want to be a little bit of the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Maybe in your head, you're like, I just want to be this person that's like, I want to be more emotionally communicative. I want to be more confident. I want to be more secure. I want to be a balanced person who's good with business and good with finances and has a home. Like, maybe these two entities really check all the boxes. Maybe this is everything you're lacking. But I do think that you have some kind of skill or talent that's like on the back burner for you that you could quite possibly develop. You just don't know how or when or why or if. And and I do think you're lost, but not in a bad, it's not a great feeling to be lost, but I think you're going to correct that. So far, this is all about you. There's nothing here about another person yet. But why are you here picking Reach, asking about a guy? Like, what does this have to do with a guy? Or girl, pardon me, or any partner, your person. Why are you asking if this is the person you really want to be with? Because so far we're getting just you, and this is a relationship reading. Okay. Why are you asking about this? But now that I know a little bit about you, it'll be a little more interesting. I don't know. I think you're asking about this. Sorry. I think I just get this feeling that, and I'm trying to put it with a word here. The Empress is a very beautiful, very feminine, very self-aware, confident energy. And I hate to say you're not the Empress. You might absolutely be the Empress in many situations. I can't deny you this card. But if the question is why are you here? I think the Empress is someone you want to be. I think you want everything to do with the Empress, right? And yet, and I think you're, oh God, I don't know. I feel like you're dating someone, or this person you're inquiring about. I think they want you to be the Empress. I think they expect more of you than you can give. I think that maybe when you met them, you gave an impression you were someone you weren't. Maybe you came off as being more confident, more balanced, more secure. But I just get a feeling that like this person thinks you have it a little more together, or you're a little more stable, or a little more into them, or whatever, than you actually are. And I think this terrifies you. And I also think that this person you're with, I think they're the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands to me, and I mean, it's probably tiring at this point, but this is the fuckboy card to me. So to me, the Knight of Wands is someone who doesn't even know themselves. They are a hot mess. They're irritating. They're probably a bit of a douchebag. They are problematic and they're immature, and they may have a whole shit ton of great qualities that accompany them, and that's great. And you know what? They may be just starting out and starting a company, or new at a company, or have all these great ideas. They might be doing all right for themselves. I think they're just kind of making their way in the world, and great for them. Maybe they're starting to prosper a little bit, which only adds to this energy of the Knight of Wands that I just can't stand sometimes. I honestly think they want you to be someone you're not. And again, maybe when you met them, you did put on a bit of a show. Maybe you turned it up. We all do that. Nothing wrong with that. But they might have held so tight to that image of you and created this like idea of what your life would look like, who you are, how you're going to react to things, what you want. And it probably is all things that would serve and suit them. That you're like, I don't know if you're not the girl that spends 3 hours getting ready every day and it looked like you did on your first date. And now you're like, I'm sorry, I'm not that person, but this person right here wants you to be and expects it. And I think that they're so up their own ass about how great they're doing right now and how wonderful life is for them, that you're just like, I'm not who you think I am. Quite frankly, that's it. And you probably are. You're a little more, I don't know, I think you're a little more rough around the edges than you presented yourself. And that doesn't mean you're like this. I was going to say something that was probably incredibly non-PC, but like, let's just say that it doesn't mean you are rough around the edges. I want to say what I was going to say so bad. But you can be very smart. You can be very pretty. You can be I don't think you're very accomplished. But I think you want to be accomplished. You're not, whether you're young still and you're figuring out, or whether you just are trying so hard to find your passion and your place, like whatever it is, you're working on you, and they just don't have the patience for anyone who isn't completely settled. And you know what? This person loves themselves the most right now anyway, so it doesn't even matter what you do. I don't think it would ever be enough, if I'm being honest. And that's another element of this that makes you just want to freaking run and hide, because it's just never going to be enough for this person. But I do always when I have readings like this, I give the warning, you could have a conversation and turn all this around. Like this isn't the end all be all. There are ways to remedy this. This might be a wonderful person that just never had anyone sit them down and say like, hey, why don't you stop being this way? Or why don't you, look at it from this angle, or go to therapy, or why, like whatever. There's a million things that could turn this around if you really cared about this person. However, based on the cards, I think I think you want to get the hell out of there. And I think that you do have actually a talent or something that they might hold you back from. There might be a sense of jealousy from this person, a sense of competition. I think they're trying to do their own thing and excel at their own thing. And whatever it is you want to do, there either wouldn't be time for it or it outright wouldn't be appreciated. So let's get a little bit, I don't know if I asked what you're reaching for. I can never remember the questions I ask. I just get so caught up in the message that I can't remember the question. Okay, what are you reaching for? Even if we ask that again, well, no, let's ask Spirit. Let's ask Spirit. Yeah, we're going to ask Spirit, what are you reaching for? This is a little different. Like, this is advice from Spirit. What does she see that you're reaching for? If you're so kind of anxious to just get out. So I'm going to start with swords because that's, swords are always interesting to me. They're fascinating. And we have the Six of Swords here. And this is like you're kind of, it's a transition. It's a movement. It is, again, it could be fleeing. It could be freeing yourself of baggage. It doesn't necessarily mean you're physically moving, but you're alleviating something, some kind of burden you're cleaning yourself of mentally. And that means that something you don't want to think about anymore, you don't want to deal with, you don't want it weighing heavily on your mind. You really are going to just do whatever you can to erase it. And that's fine. But if we're asking Spirit what you're reaching for, and then with this card, it's like kind of that fairness. Like you want, not only do you want that balance, because Justice is a card about balance, absolutely. But there's like, it's like that cause and effect. You want to feel like all this isn't for nothing. If you're putting the time and energy into something, if you stick it out, is it worth it? But I think you're reaching to, I think you want to serve you. You don't want to invest time in someone else, in being someone else's queen so they can start their life and build their brand and their business. I think you want to do that yourself. And I think you want to do that at your own speed, in your own right, under your own agenda. And I feel that this person is someone that you would always be adhering to their time frame, their agenda, their needs. And this card makes me think this person could change their mind. They could change what turns them on, what gets them going, what they seek, what boxes they want checked. They could change that every week. Like I said, I don't think there's ever keeping up with this person. Now, this person could mature out of the Knight of Wands, and that's great. And that could change all this. But right now, as they are that energy, yeah. And the King of Swords is such a strong card. And if we're asking Spirit what you're reaching for, you want full command to be you, to be strong, to be confident. You want, and there's an element of seeking the truth here. Like but to me, it's like that, it's that internal truth. You want to serve you right now. You're just reaching for whatever it is that is going to best serve you. And it does feel like a reach. It feels like you'd have to just pull yourself up and out of this, since a cage that you're in. You're not in a cage, but it does feel like you're a little bit caged by someone else's influence somehow. And, this might not be, it's not like you could be heavily involved with this person, or this could just be someone that, you hook up with a couple times a week. I don't know the level or the dynamic, but even if you guys are just, let's say, hooking up infrequently or a couple times a week, it doesn't mean that it's not all consuming. It doesn't mean that when you're with that person, you aren't thinking like you can still go down rabbit holes, and it can feel like your relationship has a lot more weight than it does. And that can also just mind fuck you after weeks or months of doing that. Especially if you're trying to be something you're not, or if someone's putting expectations on you that aren't realistic and you guys aren't even serious. That is, I don't know what the word is for that, but it becomes a cruel and unusual punishment, both for yourself, for you to put on yourself, and for them to put on you. So if we ask spirit what you're reaching for, I just think you're reaching for just full command of your own thoughts. And finally, like then kind of the ability to see like, this is what I want. And if I want this, I'll get it. Whatever that is. But yeah. And again, I do get this feeling that you have the ability to, there's something you want to start or do. There's a talent or an energy you want to tap into. And I think it's there for you. You just have to cut, like you've got to cut out. This is the message I got when we started, and I'm going to stick with it. Yeah. So let's see if that works. So I've been doing this, not been doing, I did it once before you, in the reading just before, but I'm doing these kind of timestamps. But I have to look it up on a chart and it takes a minute. So these are moon cards. I would say 3/4 of these come with a stamp of time. The others come with like something else. So if we get a timestamp, we'll see, it'll help us see where you're at a little bit. But let's ask like, what's a good time for you to, I don't know, like reach for something else, like find your, whatever it is that's kind of pulling you, that gravitational force that you're drawn to, that you're reaching towards. What's a good time frame to really do something about that? So let's see what we have here. Waning crescent. So I'm pretty sure this is the one I just had, although it can't be. I am going to say that your waning crescent it's the end of the month for January 2002. It's basically like 26 to 27 to the 31st. So you've got 26, 27 through the end of the month of January. And if you dragged it out till February, which I don't recommend, but let's say that happened, it would also be roughly the 24th, 25th to the end of February. So you're looking at the end of the months to get your waning crescent, your momentum to really just reach. And then this says, I am loved beyond measure. And that's a great card, kind of cheesy, but great. You're loved. We knew that. That's not, but okay, here's the message. You might feel like you're not loved right now. You might feel like someone wants something from you that you don't have, or that you can't give, or you're not enough, or you're less than, or you lack something. And I really do think this is a nice message. Again, sure, it's a little bit cheesy, but just hold on to it once in a while. Say it to yourself once in a while, because perhaps you feel unloved. I may be so off base with this, but if you do in this partnership or relationship, then just know you're loved beyond measure. Who loves you beyond measure? I don't know. It could be your parents, it could be your friends, your pets, your coworkers. I don't know. Yourself. I mean, that would be great. It could be yourself. Justice is yourself. This is a whole line about taking care of yourself and actually finally doing it. Okay, 2 oracle cards from an oracle deck. The first one is going to be a good luck charm from spirit, and then a word of warning or kind of like caution from spirit. So let's get your good luck charm. Okay. Cozy up with risk, good luck charm, and word of caution, create alchemy. Okay. Cozy up with risk. I just think reaching for the unknown, cutting out, doing something that probably goes way beyond your comfort zone here, in the sense that I said I believe I said you don't know who you are and you're trying to figure yourself out. You don't know who you want to be. It is a risk to all of a sudden find yourself alone or without that comfort, that even if it's a casual comfort, even if it's just physical, or even if it's your relationship that you're in. Yeah, get used to the fact that like you might be alone. This is a risk, but cozy up to that idea. I know that you're going to have fun with it, but like don't hate it, don't dread it, warm up to it. It's not forever. And it's just, yeah, it's a good luck charm. Like I guess, hard times are coming. So get used to it. And create alchemy as a word of, kind of like a warning. This to me, or creator, alchemy, creator. create of. I don't quite understand the wording on this. I've never seen this card before. This to me is like, I was going to say, don't, it's a word of warning, like, don't overdo it. I would say, and by overdo it, I mean, like, this is like, you know, if you rub two sticks together, you get fire. If you combine bleach and ammonia, you can die if you breathe the fumes. Like, I just think there's like a chemistry aspect to this where it's like, just be careful. Don't play with fire. Don't do something so extreme that you are hurting yourself or someone else unjustly. Like, you know, you're going to have to lean into this, but you don't need to like set fire to something or let everything crash and burn. There isn't like a tower card on here. There isn't a card of like hard endings. There's a leaving. There's a sense of you leaving and like, you know, evolving and finding yourself. But maybe just be mindful of how you go about it, because it's not going to serve you or anyone else to be I don't know, like hateful, or because this is maybe a card of and the more I look at this card, I have no idea what the message is. It might actually be telling you to create friction now that I look at it, but I will go with my original message. I guess I'm just saying that, like, if you have this deck and you're like, that's not what that card means, this is what I'm getting out of it right now, and I just think that's the message we're gonna have to go with. So yeah, that was my message. Don't be cruel or make anything more frictionous or intense, you know, than it needs to be. I'm going to stop talking about things you don't need to do, but sorry if this reading wasn't super light or fun, but there will be more that are fun. And yeah, if this is really someone you want to be with, okay, this reading alone would tell me no. But again, we said like we can turn, we can't change people necessarily, but we can inspire people to change. Let's put it that way. And that can be done through like a glass of wine, a conversation, years and years and years of therapy. I mean, there's so many options. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot, and you are here for a reading. I'm new to YouTube, so thank you so much for being here for a reading. Okay, this reading is this someone you really want to be with? Do you actually want to be with this person? The last two readings were pretty much like a hard no, so I don't know what this is all about, but this was, I think, a more positive spin than the other photos, quite possibly. I don't know. Although the other ones were like really pretty, so I'm not sure why they resulted in the reading they did. But I'm going to call this one light. So this is light. And we're going to see why you're here. Okay, let's just get a snapshot, I like to say, of who you are right now, what's going on in your world. Let's see you right now. Who are you? What's going on right now? Okay. Excuse me. Okay, we have the 8 of Wands. Sorry, 8 of Swords. I feel like I've done whole readings thinking wands are swords and swords are wands. Just go with what I say, but I saw now this is a sword. 8 of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Okay, who are you right now? I just lost my mind for a minute. Oh my God, this isn't even an 8. This is a 7. I'm so sorry. I do get a little out of my mind at times when I'm doing this. In a good way. Okay. 7 of Swords is interesting. This to me, this is a sneaky card to me. So this is a card, actually, I think of someone like fleeing, like making a break for it, yet there's a deceptive part to this card. And that deceptive part to me isn't just that you're like running away from something. It's like you almost enjoy it. You almost enjoy that you made someone cry and you had to flee the scene. There's something here where like there's a bit of enjoyment in something that probably shouldn't be enjoyed. And I could elaborate, but I don't want to paint you with that brush if you don't deserve it. Because it could also just be like a playful, I'm just getting out of here because we TP'd someone's house kind of thing. I don't know if anyone does that anymore, but like it could be that kind of a making a break for it. Or it could be the like, I just stole a pack of whatever and I'm running from the store and it's really hilarious. Like it could be that vibe times 10. Okay. Four of Pentacles is someone who is grounded, but in this kind of like restrictive way that makes me think that like there's a fear there. There's a fear to spend. There's a fear to move. There's a fear to like, you're just very focused on staying grounded, but in a way that's quite limiting. Page of Pentacles, that's a little more fun. Just kind of like I don't know, there could be anything from like a new job here, or it could just be someone like setting out to really trying to figure out what kind of mark they're going to leave on the world, on their street, on their friends, on their Instagram, whatever. Like it's just kind of a new approach to thinking about how you're going to do you and maybe survive and make money in this world. So if we have a snapshot from this, I think, I don't know, I need to get more. There's, like I said, there's something sneaky, but then I also feel like there's kind of this fear to really move. The only thing I can think is like, you want something, be it a home, an elaborate hobby, a work, a place in this world, and you're scared to like spend or move or do something. I don't know. There's a fear here, but there's a sneaky element. So let's get more. I need more. And this isn't enough. This is more about you. Because this is light. This is supposed to be a fun reading. Okay, this is a great card. 10 of Cups. Love it. It's love. It's romance. It's all sorts of wonderful things. So I'm very happy to see this. It can definitely be the marriage card. And so for that, I'm happy for you. That's great. We can be happy with this. 8 of Pentacles. I just see this as like hard work paying off. You're a little bit patient. And then the 6 of Cups. This is simple pleasures. So if I take all of this in and you just give me a minute to get a snapshot of where you are right now. I actually think you are in a relationship right now that's probably, I'm going to say you're in a relationship and things are good. You could be married, you could be on your way, you could be engaged. I just think okay. So I'm going to say I think you're in a solid relationship right now. A solid is in like, it would have, by all intents and purposes, by all appearances, it looks great. And it looks like you're on a track to really going the distance. The rest of this card is like, I'm even going to put this towards your relationship, and I'm going to say this relationship of yours is actually quite sweet. I think there's a simplistic beauty to it, let's say. I think that you guys sincerely enjoy each other's company. You may have more of a brother-sister vibe going. You may get along so good. It's boring you to tears. I'm going to stick with that. So that's why... All right, I'm going to stick with that. The rest of this, I think, is about you and the fact that you are definitely trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. I think you're starting to maybe plant seeds about what you are doing with your life, whether it's applying to different jobs, whether it's actually starting a new project, but saving for a home, putting an offer down on a home. There's something that makes me think you've taken the steps to really try to establish yourself. And as a result, I do believe that it is stressing you out and you're like scrimping and saving. Here's the tricky edge I'm getting from this. I don't think you need to save and scrimp and be as miserly as you are being, but I think you're getting off a little bit on the fact that it's actually driving your partner crazy. This doesn't paint you with a very nice brush. This is just the vibe I'm getting from the reading. I think you're doing something that is rubbing your partner the wrong way and you're enjoying it. Now, this can be playful, kind of. It doesn't mean that you aren't supposed to be with this person. It might be that you're getting back at them for something, or you have ever so slight bitterness or lightweight resentment towards them for something. And this is a way of like just jabbing or even like poking the bear. This doesn't have to be like an intensely cruel thing that you're doing, although it could be, but I don't necessarily think it is. I just think that you are basically poking the bear. And I don't know anything about your partner right now. I don't know if this is driving them insane or if they even notice that it's happening. I'm not sure. But I think that you and your partner are very close. Like I said, like I think there's more of a brother-sister vibe to you guys. And that probably drives you crazy. Maybe you've had enough of it. Maybe it hasn't always been this way and it's this way now. Or maybe it has always been this way and it never bugged you before, but now it bugs you. Whatever it is, you're trying to stir the pot, actually. I think you want to shake things up because I think actually maybe you think there's like a light at the end of the tunnel, and you really want to get there because wherever you're at right now isn't working. And I do think that you're creating an environment that's kind of like stagnant or dull or boring, or you're pulling back on things you used to do, like I don't know, going out to dinners together, drinking nice wine together, like I don't know, whatever it is, there are things, and this could even be like things around the house. Like maybe you guys used to like enjoy your home life together more. Maybe you used to plant a garden together and now you're like, I'm too busy, I can't do that. Whatever it is, you're stingy with either your money, your time, your affection, your energy. You're just being stingy and you're enjoying it. You probably aren't enjoying being stingy because that's boring for everyone, but you are, like I said, you're liking the friction that this is bringing about. This has nothing to do with light, or it could be bringing things to the light, bringing things to the surface, which is a way of looking at this. Like maybe you are trying to pull things up to the surface. You're just trying to like, yeah, bring things into the light and like force them to be addressed. Like I said, this dynamic between you and your partner, it might not be for everyone to see. Maybe no one has any idea that you guys have more of a friendly way of dealing with each other or whatever. And it's not even necessarily a bad thing. It just isn't quite where you want to be right now. And yeah, let's see, why did you pick light? Why did you pick light? I have to repeat the question because I definitely tend to forget it. Why did you pick light? Why did you pick light? Okay. 5 of Swords. Why did you pick light? Okay, so I'm getting some defeat here. The Tower is definitely a crash and burn. And Wheel of Fortune, fun. I get the same cards all the time, even on like a heavily shuffled deck. But Wheel of Fortune's a good one. It's like a karmic cycle. It's like highs and lows, and you know, where it's like a roulette. It's like a roulette wheel, kind of. But it's like a guttural, it's connected to the solar plexus. I remember that. And it's this like guttural, almost like intuition, this sense, this inner knowing, this pull, this give and take. There's this like element of it. And if I think, why did you pick light? Give me a minute. I don't know why you picked light, except to say I am getting more of a message that you're ready to, almost like maybe you've seen things run their course, is what I'm thinking. I do think that you, and you know, this picture, it's kind of like that look through the trees, and it's like there's that, you know, the trees in the foreground and you can like see beyond it. And I don't know why there's like the light kind of is like an illumination. And I don't know why you picked light, but I do think you are completely ready to move on. That is it. And how that connects to light, I'm not sure. I want to understand it. But there's a sense that internally you just can't fight this. You're literally being defeated by your own thoughts. And it does make me wonder if your thoughts are running away with you. If this dynamic worked for you, say last week or last month, like what else is going on in your life that, you feel so moved into action? And maybe, that's something that just came to me, but there could be something to that. Maybe there is something else happening that's making you feel like your dynamic is harder on you than it is. Maybe this is a great relationship and you are dealing with other things that you need to address without blowing up your whole relationship. I don't know if you want to blow your relationship up or not, but I do think that you feel this sense of like doom that feels very powerful to you. Yeah, what's that all about? Why do you have this, like, where's this weight coming from? Where's this like darkness coming from? Why do you feel this way? And not darkness, like that's a heavy word, but like where's this little bit of gloom, this storm cloud? What's this all about? We got some wands here. 10 of wands, 3 of wands, 6 of wands. It helps me when I say them out loud. I like the 3 of wands. Well, actually, no, I don't love the 3. All of these are weird wands. So, okay, force. I actually think. I think this little cloud that you're dealing with is. I think you've really been thinking a lot about. I think. Oh my God, let me stop. I believe you have been pondering your relationship heavily. Maybe more than you need to, maybe more than suits you. What drove you to do this? I don't know. But it feels like you have been overthinking every aspect of your relationship. And that just hasn't led to any place good for you. It's led you to feeling, again, defeated. And I don't know why. Maybe you think you can't get where you want to go with this person. They're not going to give you what you need. Maybe there's another fear. I don't understand it, but you really have been like, you're stuck. There's like a decision. You're constantly contemplating this, like, is this what I want? And you're just in deep contemplation about this. And I think you want in this relationship, you want a different kind of attention, I believe, from the man you're with. I think you want to see the man you're with, or man, it could be woman, excuse me, that you're with your partner. You want to see and feel and receive them differently than you are. And, this is a sense of like, this card can give me a sense of like idol worship or adornment or recognition, but it still stands that like it's a card of being seen. And I just think that you don't think that you're being seen the way you want to, the way you want someone to see you. And that could be like maybe in a more like ultra feminine way, maybe in less of like a platonic way. And I keep going back to that, and I'm sorry if that's not the case with you, but whatever it is, I do believe that you are just so burdened with this task of trying to think how you can like turn this around that you almost feel like you can't. And I don't know if you can or not. And I don't know, again, if this relationship at one time did serve you so well and now you're just so confused as to why you don't feel the same way, or if it never really did it for you and you're just now realizing like this isn't it. But that makes me think of the Wheel of Fortune, where it's like you've been going through these motions, you've been doing it and you've been doing it, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, one day, like the ride stops and you're just like, huh? Like, I guess, why did it stop? Or is this where I get off? Like, I don't know. Or the ride breaks and you're like, I'm stuck up here. It not a very good analogy, but that to me is the Wheel of Fortune. Let's ask Spirit, how she can help you see the light. Okay, how can spirit help you see the light? And this is a good. This is a oh my goodness. When the Lovers and the Devil comes up in a relationship reading in the same pull, that's fun. I like that. How can spirit help you see the light? These two cards could counteract each other. I mean, really, we could just, one could obliterate the other, because great, you've got the Lovers, but then you've got the Devil. You could kill the Devil, could kill the Lovers could kill the Devil. Like, it's just, however, I feel like the Devil trumps the Lovers, and I hate that it does. But the Devil is a little bit, I don't know, just stronger, because the Devil has a dark energy that just lives in all of us, whereas, maybe the Lovers lives in all of us too. What I'm going to take from this, if we ask Spirit for some advice, how can she help you see the light? Let's say this is a friendship card. I'm not making that up. It's basically a friendship card. But it's a happiness. It's a card of like enjoying everything from simple pleasures to amazing drink and food to celebration to camaraderie. It is a card of like loving the people you're with and having the people you're with love you. But friendship is it's the color of this card. If Spirit's going to help you to see the light, I think she's going to say, you're not going to like this. Be the Lovers, stop being such a bitch, and just lean into the friendship. Lean into it. I'm not telling you to do that. And I don't know that Spirit is either, because I mean, you do what you have to do. You're here for a reason. But if you are going to make this work, you do need to stop being this little demon child that you're being. Because it might be cute now. It might still be sliding under the radar. It might go unnoticed, but it won't always. And it will make you feel shitty. And your Wheel of Fortune, your karma will catch up to you. And then if things do crash and burn because you were less than desirable, it's not going to feel good. It's going to feel 10 times worse than it would if you were like actually a decent person throughout all of this. So I think that Spirit is saying if she's got a message for you about how to help you see the light, it might just be like, love your person, be good, be the Lovers, which is basically two people who love and respect each other, and it can go in any direction you want it to from there. Don't be nasty, and really, lean into the friendship aspect. I'm not going to say anything else except for my other couple cards that I pull that aren't tarot decks, because I think that's the message here, and I don't want to tamper with it. So I've been doing these timing cards, which I'm going to do for you right now, and this is going to be a moon card about timing. So if we ask for timing, I'm going to say, maybe you stay, maybe you leave. It's for you to decide, but what's a good time frame for when you need to figure this out, okay? Like when do you really need to have this decision made? And that's not for me to say. That's just, we're having some fun here. Okay, so this is actually a card that there's a few cards in this deck that don't actually give a time frame, because it doesn't tell me a moon cycle. It just says, I choose to take a higher perspective and widen my views. And this is a moon god card. And this is a rabbit on the moon. I can't pronounce this. So this is one of the few cards that doesn't have timing. And you know what? That's great, because I really didn't even know how to word it, because I didn't want to say you have to make a decision, you have to end this, you have to know that you're in love with this person. I think this could take time, and this is going to be something you have to feel out. Maybe I don't know, just take the time. It's not for anyone else to say right now. And I choose to take a higher perspective and widen my views. That's kind of this last line here. Widen your views. Maybe be open to seeing this person differently. Maybe be open to try to get back a little bit more of what you had in the beginning of your relationship, or the thing you loved and embraced in the beginning that made you feel like the 10 of Cups marriage blissful. And higher, taking a higher perspective to me is being a better person. Just a little, it's a little bit of a karmic warning to me. And yeah, widen your views. So I love this. I'm going to do 2 more cards real quick. I hope you don't mind. You can stop this at any time. So, but take these 2 cards. I've been doing this for the other readings, and this is, it's an oracle deck. I'm getting some advice from spirit, and I've been doing a good luck charm and a word of warning in this little journey of yours. So for your good luck charm and your word of warning, not a warning, just a word of caution, something to bear in mind. For your good luck charm, celebrate your wins. I like this. Given the context, I think this could be like baby steps if you want to remedy your situation. If you really do think this might be the right person for you, or by that, you could be with this person 6 more months and it could be the right relationship, and then you could end it. There's no forever on anything. So that's not what I mean. But if you stay in it, if you write it out, if you decide to stop being such a see you next Tuesday, I think if you celebrate your small wins, which could be like maybe enjoying that cup of coffee with this person again, maybe having a good cuddle and getting back to like all the things you used to do or whatever, but small wins, just little things. I don't know, maybe you guys used to go for walks and you really enjoyed the hell out of it. I don't know, start going on a walk, start doing little things, cook together, whatever it is that kind of did it for you. I would say just get back to that a little bit. And even small wins is like, start being a little bit nicer, start undoing some of this energy that you did or that you've been bringing to the table. And I think it could be really good for you. And then a word of warning, get back to elemental. Bring the fire back. Yeah, get that fire back. Because I think this is spirit saying, very matter of factly, that you do need to get that passion back in your relationship. This is huge. Get it back, and I think you're gonna find that you have a friend and a lover. So that's what I think that is. Get back to elemental. Make that magic. And you know what? Maybe that's what light is. Maybe light is, quite frankly, it's fire. Find your fire. Find your passion. That's all you need to do. It's never lost and gone forever. It's there. And I do get the feeling that there's a lot of love and respect between you guys. And even all this nonsense that you've been pulling, you know what? It might even make for great conversation. It might even be something you guys completely laugh about. It can be, I don't think it's something you can't undo. And I just think that it could be a great point of like vulnerability for you to bring to the table, and growth and maturity to just work on it. So, yeah, look at all these cards. This was fun, and I think it's positive. I like it. I'm glad we ended on the get your flame back. And if you can't get it back, that's fine too. You'll go from there. But that's my message. That's Spirit's message, not mine. Okay, have a great day or night, and thank you so much. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here, for listening, watching. I'm really excited to be reading for you. And this topic has been really fun, and I don't know, a little heavier than I thought, but I don't know, my readings always kind of go that way, so I guess it's just a word of warning. But the topic here is this someone you really want to be with? So maybe if you're here, you're thinking you don't. So far, the last readings seem to imply you don't, but we'll see. This is blur, and I just throw a word that comes to mind on the pictures, and then it's just kind of like, why did you pick it? What about you, be it the picture, the word, whatever, what made you pick this? So we're going to find out why you picked blur. And if this is, the person you really want to be with. Okay. Let's get a little bit about you. Where are you right now? That's lovely. Love the Empress. Knight of Wands is a little feisty, but that's okay. And Ten of Swords. So the Empress is a great card. Knight of Wands, I like. I can have a hard time with them. They are, not Knight. I'm so sorry. King of Wands. Oh no, King of Wands is a lot more solid. I'll take that King of Wands any day over the Knight of Wands. And the Ten of Swords, I'm going to see it's kind of like an endings. let's get a snapshot of you. Why are you here? I could say you just had a relationship maybe end. And let me just say, for this relationship, I'll go into these cards a little bit. I'm going to say you were the Empress and your partner was the King of Wands. And it could be, I'm not, male, female energies don't really, or don't have to go with their male or female counterpart. But it's just easy for me to imagine you as the Empress. That's the vibe I'm getting. And I think your partner was the King of Wands. And I think this relationship ended. It's probably hard on you right now. And I'm going to say the Empress isn't someone who gets broken up with. She is beautiful, feminine perfection. She's stately. She's godly. She's like this earth queen. She's Mother Nature. She's everything that is fertile and abundant and creative and lovely and caring and nurturing. So she's heaven on earth, literally. It's going to take a lot for someone to leave the Empress. And the King of Wands is also like, that's a sexy man right there. That is someone, or a sexy energy, let's say. That is someone who is like, they're like a visionary, but they're a doer. I mean, they take action. They're fierce. They're not lazy. They can make anything happen. They know what they want. They go after it. They're confident. Like, it is a very, very powerful, potent male energy that I love. I love the wands because the wands definitely to me are like the fiery, sexy connection in this whole deck. And these two together are great. I think whatever you had ended. I don't know how it ended. Let me see where you guys are at right now. Let me get more of a feel for that. Let's see here. So 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles. These are two completely contradiction cards, I'm just going to say. So the 9 of Pentacles is like just this beautiful, regal, luscious, independent beauty who just is stunning to look at, stunning to behold, and just kind of like a picture of material wealth. Whereas this is like this is the poverty card. This is the card of like just being locked out of all the good things life has to offer, which is interesting. And then the Knight of Swords. So where you are right now, sorry, I'm trying to think about this because these, like I said, these are very contradicting. And then where does this come from? Someone in this relationship, I think, is very financially secure or has a lot of things that are beautiful and would at least give the appearance of being secure. And that's relative to everyone. This can mean that they just have a car, whereas the other person doesn't have a car, or it could mean that they live on a yacht. It's a relative thing, but I think one of you in this relationship has materially speaking, everything that you could want, everything the other person wants. Whereas I think the other person kind of doesn't and definitely has a lack. And I don't know if this is a foreshadowing as to like, if you guys really aren't together, this is going to be the dynamic, or if this is the dynamic, if you just broke up and this is kind of where you're at. And then with that, this Knight of Swords, I usually assign this to someone, but I think I almost feel like there's another party involved that is the Knight of Swords. And I don't know who this is or why this is here. But for me, the Knight of Swords it's like almost like an angry, hasty, egotistic energy. It's someone who thinks they know everything, thinks they have the remedy, thinks they're going to solve all the problems. It's just someone who just thinks they have all the faculty to do something, and really, if they would just like slow down and chill out and listen and stop everything, stop yelling, stop talking, stop moving for 1 second, they'd realize like it's not the right they need to stop. It's not the right course of action. So I'm not sure what this energy is, but if you're hearing that and it speaks to something and the rest of this tracks, then we'll try to figure out who this is and why that energy is here. But maybe your King of Wands is the Knight of Swords right now. Maybe he's driving, one of you, I think, is driving this breakup of sorts, this parting of ways. And I think they're doing it with a Knight of Swords energy. And honestly, it could be you. It could be the Empress. You could be the one doing this. And if you are, you're not doing it in a very pretty way. And you're definitely making the other feel like if they would just slow down and take a breath and talk, things could be better. Yeah, because I think someone has lack and someone has abundance right now in this dynamic. So whoever this is probably the person, probably with abundance. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe there's another energy that is forcing this person to be so hasty. I don't know. When I see something like this, I'm like, what happened? Did someone cheat? Did someone lie? Did someone do something inexcusable? Was there a betrayal? Like, why this like harsh and extreme ending to something that I think actually was quite beautiful and good and balanced, more or less. And if it wasn't perfectly balanced, you guys enjoyed the hell out of it. So I'm not sure what's going on here. And this card, this card could mean like, almost like a morally bankrupt. Like maybe it could, now that I think about it, maybe someone is like morally bankrupt right now. Maybe they have done things that are ever so slightly despicable. And this other person is like, I can't even deal with that right now. And maybe that's why you or this other person is like, I'm getting out of here. I'm done with this. This has to end because what you did, how you're acting, who you've been is so gross to me that this has to end now. I don't know. That's a theme that I'm getting. Okay, but this is blur. Maybe, okay. What's blurry? What's blurry right now? What's blurry? What's blurry? We've got strength. I never know. 6 of Pentacles and 7 of Swords. And I say them out loud, not necessarily because I think you can't figure this out for yourself. I get a snapshot in my head of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck when I say it. Okay, well, what's blurry to you right now? I think, sorry. I think you really want, the strength to leave. I actually do think that you kind of want, let me see if you want the strength to leave or do you want the strength to stay? I think you want, I don't know. A part of me thinks like, it's almost like I feel like you want the strength to help this person or to stick it out, but you're kind of leaning towards making a run for it. But I almost feel like what's blurry to you right now, if that was the question I asked, is I don't think you can figure out in your own head if you want to stick this out and really help the situation, which would probably involve working with this person. Maybe there's other people involved, helping those other people, but almost like an act of charity where you are like taking one for the team, putting your emotions and your own, whatever was done to you aside and being like, look, this is for our relationship. We can do this. We can get through this. This doesn't have to end, but I'll help you through this. And kind of hold the hand of this person that I think maybe you're ever so slightly disgusted with at the time. And I think you would be doing that instead of just leaving. But I do think there is a part of you that wants to leave. And this is the blurry part. And I also get the feeling that if you did leave, you would enjoy that. You would enjoy so much the moment where you could like turn to this person and be like, I'm going, or I mean, this is like everything's from a movie, but like you walk into the living room and your bag's packed and they're like, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm leaving. Like, I just feel like you would get a very deep sense of satisfaction out of that. I don't know that it would serve you at all. I don't know if you'd feel the same way 5 minutes after you left, but for you, the thought of leaving is very enticing. And if this relationship has already ended, like you have already technically left, this would be a conversation, because I get the feeling you're still in touch, or you could be in touch. And this would basically be the conversation where you're like, nope, sorry, I'm done forever. Like, this is never happening. We're never, ever getting back together. It would be that conversation. But I also think there is a part of you that really does want the strength to remedy this and to help and to see this other person through whatever maybe demon or woe they're dealing with. But yeah, something happened. Someone betrayed someone. I think you were betrayed. And I just think that, yeah. And okay, we need another line here. Let's get some more information here. Wait, sorry, let me see something. Where are we at? Okay. I want to, let's see. Okay. What do you think? Do you think this is your person? I'm going to ask you that. What are you thinking? Is this really someone you want to be with? And Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, Two of Wands. Well, you definitely have a choice. You definitely have something to think about. I think you realize, I think there would be a lot lost if things really 100% ended, if they didn't course correct, if you didn't get back together, if you didn't, I think it would shake your life up quite a bit. That doesn't necessarily mean this is the person you want to be with. I just think that there's, it doesn't hurt being with this person. There's probably a lot of good. And if you weren't together, there'd probably be a lot of bad too. Wheel of Fortune is a funny card to me because I just take it as like, it's almost like things cycle. There's a bit of karma to it. And there's that sense of like, it's the middle of the, it's basically the middle of the major arcanas. There's 20 of them. And, 21 technically, but anyway, so with that, you're kind of in the middle and you're walking this line of like being affected and affecting people. What goes around comes around. What happens because it had to happen. I just realized I'm not really making sense. I'm trying to figure out if you really want to be with this person. And I can't get the feeling that you really, really want to be with them because there's no passion here. I think that it's a choice to make. And I think if you make that choice, you're probably making it based on the fact that there's a logical aspect to it. And if you do choose to be together, I think there's logic involved. But I think you're the one that holds, I don't know. It's just the Empress is it's not that she's a badass. She's so nurturing. She's so beautiful inside and out. She's so powerful and she has so much to offer that it's hard for me to think like, if you were to stay in this relationship, it should be like a hell yes. Like you should be like, yes, this is my person. And I'm just not getting like, if there's not like a hell yes to this, when I ask this question. And for the Empress, like she needs that. She needs someone like the emperor to balance her out. She needs like a strong, loving union. She needs passion. She needs goodness. And I'm just not seeing any of that here. I'm seeing like, if we stayed together, it could benefit us. If we broke up, it'd be pretty hellacial. There's a reason we're together. It works. And there's a lot to think about maybe if we're not together. Like, it's just, there's a lot of logic tied into this, and it's just lacking a lot of emotion for me. And I think in some ways you do want to be with this person, because not being with them also looks pretty unpleasant. But I'm not getting this overwhelming sense of love out of this. I'm just not. But I mean, every relationship's different. It doesn't mean it doesn't work for you. But like I said, yeah, there's not this strong vibe of love. So I'm just going to ask, like, where's the love gone? Where is the love in your relationship? What does it look like? Okay. So I love the sun, but this is interesting. If we're asking what does the love look like in your relationship, and we've got Judgment, the Sun, and the Two of Pentacles, I mean, I'm going to say right away, it's a balancing act. It is a give and a take. It is a juggling act, meaning it's never all there and it's never not there. It's like, and the sun, okay, the sun's great. The sun is beautiful. It gives life. It's light. It's vibrant, but it can also kill. I mean, the sun there's no darkness to it, but it's also like, I mean, I guess we could live in pure light, but the sun also, without having a dark side, there's a con to it. And it is this, like, this overpowering in this sense. There's an overpowering energy here. And it could be like, maybe this is expected to come from you being the Empress. Maybe the love in your relationship always comes from you. And that's very hard on you. It's killing you to always be the source of love and warmth. And then there's also Judgment. So I think in this relationship, maybe the love comes from like when things go well, when things go right, when things are good, they're great. When things are working and gelling and clicking, yes, it's a great relationship. But again, that would come back to the juggling act. And when things aren't great, when things are good, they're great. When they're bad, they're horrid. I just get a sense that like the love in this relationship is, I think it's hard to take. There's a very cold transactional feeling to this relationship, and it could very well be based on finances. I think someone might not be as good as they want to be, even if they want to be good. I just get a sense that like there's a sneaky element, not sneaky, like I don't think someone's sneaking around, but there's an ever so slight dark energy to this. And it doesn't mean it can't be remedied. It doesn't mean that like the devil's in these cards, because he's not. It's just I don't know if someone has like, their own demons, their own issues that maybe they just haven't addressed or haven't worked through. But there's something to tell me that like, basically when things are good, they're great, but when they're bad, they're horrid. And I just get that that's the love in this relationship. And when it's good, I really do think you guys really work. But I think there's a possibly material abundance to this dynamic. You guys might not be hurting for money or beautiful things or possessions. And again, that's relative, but I think that you're doing okay. I think one of you brings that to the table more than the other. And I honestly don't know who. I don't know if it's the Empress or the King of Wands. I don't know who generally comes with the money. But I almost get the feeling that the money is coming from like family, or it's not something you made 100% on your own. I think and I do think it can either cause someone else to be bitter or jealous about that, or it causes that person to be like underdeveloped emotionally. If the problem circulates from the money, I think it's as a result of someone being jealous, or the person who supplies it just, being a kind of emotionally or mentally stunted because they never really had to work very hard, or things have come easily to them. This is the reading. And I do think there's a blurred sense to this, because I think it's blurry. You just don't know what to do. And I can't really tell you what to do, because I have enough information, and I would never tell you what to do anyway. And I could never even get all the information. That's not how tarot works. I think this is just, this message here is it's just confirming that it is blurry, and it might even be a little messy right now. And let me do a timing card. I've been doing these. This is a moon deck, and I would say 3/4 of the cards in here can give a timing based on a moon cycle, lunar cycle. The rest are just like words of wisdom, and they track pretty well. So if we can get timing, I'm going to say, when do you really need, for your own mental sanity, when do you need to start to address this? Like, you know, are you going to ride this out for a year or a month or a week? When do you need to address this? And if we don't get a timing card, then it's just not for spirit to say right now. Okay. Ooh, full moon. I have power. It is real. Okay. So the next full moon is on, it's either the 17th or the 18th of January. I don't know which one it is. I think it's the 17th, but I couldn't say for sure. But I think it's the 17th. So that means, I think it's 17th. That means that by January 17th, you have to figure this out. You have to figure this out. You have to figure out, the blur for you right now is, should you stay or should you go? If you stay, you're going to have to help. You're going to have to nurture, which the Empress does very well. You're going to have to really commit to it and really want to stay and really want to help. And it's going to have to be sincere, or you leave, or you just leave. But yeah, you've got till the 17th of January if we're going to really make this full moon card, you know, a thing. Okay. I've been doing these 2 oracle cards. I'll make them quick for you. One is, oh my gosh, where are my words? One is a good luck charm from spirit, and one is a warning, like a heed of caution, a note of caution from spirit. So let's get your good luck charm, and let's get just a cautionary. Unstick the stack, and change maker makes waves. Okay. Good luck charm. Unstick the stack. What does this mean if we're giving you luck and love? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of like blur. Like blur is kind of like your stack. You need to focus. You need to get some clarity. You need to amplify things. Just it's basically, it would be the equivalent of being like, focus, turn your blur into a clear beam of light and focus in. So yeah, and that looks like a little beam of light coming at you, a little retina focusing. So unstick your stack. Just, you've got a little messy situation, and you've really got to figure it out. So I do think spirit is saying, and you know, the full moon's going to be here before you know it. It feels like we just had one, and in some ways we did, but still could have been a week ago. Yeah, get unstuck, find your little beam of light and focus in on it and figure out what you're going to do. Word of warning, change maker makes waves. So yeah, either way, whether you stay or you go, you're implementing a change. You are really going to be, things aren't going to look the same. They can't look the same. They can't carry on the way they were. And that is going to shake things up a bit. And when I think of make waves, I don't know why, I think of the 2 of Pentacles in this card. And I think that the balancing act, the juggling, it's going, like balls are going to drop basically. Things are going to get, I don't want to say ugly because that's like a bad omen. And I think whatever decision you make is the right decision. That's just how things, you would just have to believe every decision you make is the right decision. And if you make it, it's the right decision because it's what you're doing. So whatever you do, it will be the right decision. But just know that I think either way, it's going to be a sticky one that you're going to have to unstick the stack. So there you are. I think this is not fun, not exciting, not even that good, but it might offer some clarity. So I hope it did. And I would love to hear about it. If it did, please let me know. That's always fun for me. Love to hear about it. Okay, great. Thank you. Have a great day or night. I really appreciate your time. So utterly sincerely. Thank you. Hello. I'm just thanking you so much for being here, listening, checking me out. Just want you to know that it means everything that I can read for you, and that I even have a channel on YouTube and more than one video, and that, if you're here watching this, that I have someone other than a personal friend watching. And if you're a personal friend, thank you so much for being here, because that's amazing. But yeah, I just want to ask you, if you comment, whatever reaction or input you have that just feels, how did that get back there? That's weird. Honest and organic and true. If you want to leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever. If you want to watch 10 more videos and then do those things, that's fine too. But yeah, just thank you is really the whole point of this. So yes, I hope to see you soon. That's it. Thank you so much. Goodbye.